This is a blast from the past to kind of bring back what you know or what you don't know. Okay, so amortization tables, here we go. Uh, amortization is the amount of time required to pay off a loan mortgage through regular payments. Uh, in years for us, okay? Principal, the amount of money borrowed, not including interest. Here's some formulas that you need to know. The monthly interest, I'm going to put lowercase I here so you know, like I'm actually not giving you brand new formulas, right? But with amortization table, to get that monthly interest, you take your previous unpaid balance, I'll put that in brackets, times the interest rate divided by 12. And you know what? I will do over 100 because if you don't divide it by 100, you're going to get it wrong. I sometimes assume you will, but I will just make sure you understand that part. So make sure you add that, okay? This is lowercase I. It's the previous unpaid balance times interest rate divided by 100 divided by 12. And this is just a little reminder, recall, grade 11 simple interest formula. That's where this is from. Monthly principal, I call this lowercase p, is the monthly payment minus the monthly interest. Let's put that all, I don't know, I feel like it's better if it's in brackets. And let me give you a little formula right on the side that summarizes this. Is it going to fit? I hope. P is equal to payment minus I. That's the formula that it's summarized with this. Much easier, right? Study sheet. You just have to know what's what. Unpaid balance is previous unpaid balance minus principal. That one I cannot give you a shorter formula for that. Can I just go back to this one? I used to call this loan, but because the loan is going to keep changing as the months go by, I call this previous unpaid balance. But when you find the first month interest, this is actually loan, okay? So before I get going, I'm just going to remind you, I always told you that every single payment has something happening in the background, correct? You remember me saying that? Of course, you listen to everything I say. Not, right? Here, this is what we're going to be doing, guys. Let me just focus it. And if you're into Excel spreadsheets, some of you are, you're really good at it. You can do this in probably a couple minutes, right? But so what's going to happen is we're going to start with a loan. It could be 20 grand, 30 grand, 50, whatever. And every single month, there's going to be interest and principal. And then the next month comes by. See how you owe a little bit less the second month, right? No surprise. Therefore, you will pay a little bit less interest, and then the rest goes to knock the remaining loan down even more. Third month comes along, it drops, it drops, it drops. So the interest that you pay on every payment goes down. You notice that? Over here, grab your calculator. Okay, ready? Add. I want you to add these two on your calculator. Just add 50 and 977.29. Maybe you can just do it in your head. That's fine. What do you get? 1,027.29. Okay, add the second two here. Add those two. What do you think that's going to be? So I want you to add these two here. 45.93. Oh. Oh. Please do it. 45.93 and 981.36. What do you get?
27.29.
1,027.29.
Yeah.
Do we need to do this at the same time? Can you add these two? $1,027.29. So what's happening? You remember the payment I calculated? You remember that month? I did this, I used a calculator. Look at what the payment is. Right? It's this. So every single month, some of that payment goes to interest, some of that payment goes towards actually paying off your loan. Second month comes along, same thing. Third month, fourth month. If you have 5 years worth of monthly payments, how many payments are you making? 5 years times 12. 5 times 12. 60, right? 5 years, you'll be making 60 payments. So you know that row that I showed you there, there'd be 60 of those for that particular loan. And if you have an online account, like almost who doesn't have an online bank account these days, right? I'm sure you will if you don't. But if you go to a loan, like I have a loan for my car, every month they show you that month to month, right? So that's what we're going to be doing. Some of you are like, why? If you don't understand interest, you're going to be paying a lot of money in your life that you could be saving instead, right? So let's go ahead and pursue this further, okay? So I will give you a little graph visual here that I want you to add. Where would we put this? 1 second. I want you to go to page 28, right? Page 28 real quick. There's a blank page there. And I want you to know this. The payment is always equal to principal plus I. Okay? So if you have a payment, if this is the bar, this whole thing represents the payment, right? And I will actually ask you to do that. The biggest chunk of this will be your principal, and the smallest will be your interest. Okay? Every payment is made up of these two components of a principal and interest. Every payment is made out of pi. I don't know if that will help you remember. Payment pi, right? Payment pi, right? So every payment. So let's see if you can fill in this blank here. If I told you, I would make it really easy for you. If I told you that a payment is $500, write it down, okay? And then I go ahead and tell you that the interest for this particular payment, the first payment that you're making is $10. What portion of that payment would therefore be the principal? $490. Yeah, way to go, way to go. You're really good. Yeah, $490. Okay. No, I'm kind of making a joke here, but it is important for you to understand that every single payment has that in the background. This is real life. This is not, I'm not making this stuff up, okay? This is like your bank does this. credit cards do this, okay? And why am I saying this? Because a lot of folks think that literally the $500, when they make that payment, that all of that goes towards bringing down the loan, and it's not true, right? The bank makes money. So let's go back to 24. You can see that I'm a bit too passionate about this, right? Because I want you to be smart consumers. Unfortunately, even good people, like your banker could be a good person, but if they sense that you don't know what's going on, they might not offer you the best deal. But if you're like, whoa, 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 wait a minute, what's happening here? Like if you're confronting them, you don't have to be mean about it, but be smart. It's your money, right? They work for you. So make sure you understand that. All right. Let's do the first example. Jamal purchased a vehicle for 12 grand. He had to borrow 10 of that. He had to borrow 10. Why? What happened there? 12,000 the car, needs to borrow 10. A $2,000 down payment happened. That's what happened. 4.25% for 3 years. Complete the amortization table below. So what we're going to do here is we're going to find, the first thing you need to do is find the payment, the monthly payment. You remember the formula? It's 10,000 times something divided by 1,000. It says page 14, it's actually page 18. Sorry, I keep updating this book. And so let's go to the table on page 18 real quick. You do it too, please, just to stay awake, right? 4.25% over 3 years. $29.69, right? Okay. Let's find the payment. Okay, so 10,000 times 29.69 equals, divided by 1,000, 296.90. True or false? Once the bank determines the payment and you sign the paperwork, does your payment change? The amount that they take off? What would you say? You're not so sure. It doesn't change. Once you sign, like they make you sign papers, this is going to be your payment, sir. It's going to show up somewhere on that paperwork, nice and big, 60 monthly payments of this. It doesn't change. The payment itself stays. Okay, so we can go to our table here, and for the first 3 months, I will not make you do 60 months. You don't worry about it. You put down 296.90. Once you have that figured out, this does not change. Okay, let's add that to our notes here. Does not change. It doesn't change. So we can go ahead and I will go arrow. And once I figure out my monthly payment, I just plug it in. And I will put an equal sign here, telling you that the payment doesn't change on this amortization table. You know how we were adding up every month? The payment is $1,027.29, right? So it's the same here. It's going to be the same every month. Here's where you have to watch out. The interest is going to change every single month, guys. So you got to go like this. I is equal to loan, right, times interest rate. Sorry, I know it's small, but I'm trying to make that fit. Interest rate over 100, all of that divided by 12. You see the theme, right? So grab your calculator. Actually, I'm just gonna show you one line here. To calculate the interest in this cell, I'm gonna show the work right here. Let me zoom in a little bit more so you can see what I'm writing down. So I'm going to go what's my loan, guys? It's a 10 grand right here, right now. So 10,000 times, what's the interest rate divided by 100? What would that be as a decimal? I will do that already, okay? 0.0425. So that I already divided that by 100, right? And then that whole thing divided by 12. Let's figure out what our interest is. 10,000 times 0.0425, right? Equals divided by 12. And my first month is what? 3542. 3542. And if you have different highlighters, I will make this appear here. Okay. So you know that the 10 grand, where did that come from? That's my initial amount owing. Okay. When you just get the loan, you owe 10 grand. And I will use a different highlighter for the interest rate because a lot of students don't know where I get that from. And I will actually make it pink up there. And I will just turn that into 0.0425. Are you following? Yeah? Okay. Over here, where it says money towards principal, that's lowercase p. And what you're going to do is you're going to take your payment and you're going to subtract lowercase I from it. So my payment is $296.90. And in this case, my interest is $35.42. So I go $296.90 minus $35.42. So I'm $261.48. $261.48 goes towards paying off your loan. Okay, so watch this. You follow? My pencil starts here. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to go minus 261.48. So I'm going to take my loan and take off 261.48. So that's 9,738.52. Right? Follow this. If you have another highlighter, I just want you to see that, right? This went there. So you can kind of follow, okay, the 10 grand came from there over here, right? And I did this, this, this. So how much you owe after the first month? 9,738. Okay, let's keep going. One more. So notice how it was 10 grand over here, right? Now it's not going to be 10 grand. It's going to be this number right here, 9,738.52 times 0.0425 divided by 12. You kind of do everything the same except for the 9,738. And I still have that on my calculator, right? So just leave it. I'm just going to go times 0.0425 divided by 12. Watch what it is now, 34.49. It has gone down slightly, right? That's what we want. We want it to go down, okay? 34.49. And then you move down this thing, okay? So to get this, we go 296.90 minus 34.49. So what's happening the second month from the previous month? A little bit more now from your payment goes towards paying off your loan. A little bit more. And the next month, even more, and then even more, and then even more. It's going to be more as time goes by. So you take these numbers, 97, 38, 52. Minus 262.41. And you owe a little less now. On a test or on an AC, you can do the work on the side if you'd like. You can do that and then just put in the number right there. I'm okay with that. You try that third row. Give it a try. Would you be able to do that right now just by looking at your notes? Okay. I'm going to pause this here. If you want to look at the answer, there it is. I can use a third color just to show that the payment is always the same. A fourth color, I should say. If you'd like, I always like to know, am I doing this right? So under the interest, this number should go down over time. This number should go up over time. And this last column here should also be dropping over time. And the payment, of course, stays the same. And now I can ask you a bunch of questions to see if you understand this table. No, check for understanding. Okay, let's answer that before, and then I promise after this we're done today. How much interest did you pay over 3 months? Not the first month. Remember the first month interest? It's this one right here, the 35.42. But 3 months, add up all the interest, right? So you add 3542 plus 3449 plus 3356. 103.47. Yeah. Perfect. How much went towards the principal? You add up these numbers here. So 261.48, 262.41, 263.34, 787.23. What's that? The homework, haha. If you look at the back side, I'm going to just assign, listen carefully, the back side of this, I would say questions 1 to 3. So on page 25, and I will have an AC on this tomorrow, so check. Okay, make sure you know how to do it.